11 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to buy this week. The first guy, Luis Garcia of the Houston Astros. So Garcia, it's been a pretty decent year for him, no doubt about it. But I just feel like the last few outings here, he hasn't gone that deep into ball games, and he's struggled to get past that fifth inning. So on the season for Garcia, 5-5 record, 57 hits, 29 earned runs, 19 walks, 74 strikeouts, 5 quality starts, a 3.68 ERA, and a 1.07 whip. So right here, Garcia, he's gone out there and he's pitched good baseball for this Astro team that obviously have a good commanding lead in first place in the AL West. But I just feel like he's leaving some innings out there and he's leaving some wins out there as well this season. Here's Garcia with the 500 record on being on a good team like the Houston Astros. June 10th versus Miami, 4 1/3 got the loss, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. June 15th at Texas, 6 innings, got the win, 4 hits, a run, 9 Ks, and that one a quality start. And then yesterday versus the New York Mets, they got off to a quick 5-0 start here was the Houston Astros. But Garcia, he got in trouble in the 6th inning in that one, and he only lasted 5 innings, got the win though, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 Ks. So right here, like I mentioned, this guy, he's got good stuff. His pitching motion is very hard to pick up where he stops and starts in between a pitch and the ball. But right now, he's just not getting it all together. He's only got 3 quality starts since May 6th. Here's Garcia. Like I mentioned, this guy could get better. Last season, he was pretty solid when he came up for this Astro team early in the year. And this year, he just has to go deeper into ball games, I think, is the problem with him, because his strikeouts are a strikeout in an inning. But the quality starts and the win-loss record ain't that great because the ERA is very solid, especially in the American League. So right now, while he struggled a little bit over the last few games, here's Garcia. I would go out there and try to get him. The next guy, Mackenzie Gore of the San Diego Padres. So maybe Gore's hitting a little bit of a rookie wall because this guy, one of the top pitching prospects coming into the season here. And he got off to a roaring start as Gore on the season, 54 1/3, 4-3 record, 48 hits, 22 earned runs, 24 walks, 61 strikeouts, and 3 quality starts, 3.64 ERA, and a 1.33 whip. But over the last month here, it's been horrible for Gore with a 6.52 ERA and a 1.66 whip. So the walks have definitely hurt him over the last few weeks here. And it's been tough going, especially in points league. With him getting negative points as well is Mackenzie Gore. But he's too talented of a pitcher. I think it's just 2 bad starts where the Colorado Rockies have obviously had his number in the last 2 outings for him. Because before that, he's been pitching great. It was Gore. June 4th at Milwaukee, 6 innings, got the win. 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 10 Ks. June 11th versus the Rockies, 2 1/3 got the loss. 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks. And then he had to go to Coors Field June 17th at the Rockies. 4 innings, got the loss. He got lit up. 9 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 walks in that ball game, and a strikeout. So right now, another tough matchup coming up, no doubt about it, versus the Philadelphia Phillies, who we know could hit with the best of them for home runs. Next outing tomorrow night. But right here, while he struggled the last 2 outings, I think he's going to turn things around. And the Rockies are just one of those teams that have his number, obviously, bombing him in his last 2 outings. So right now, perfect time to buy him low because I think Gore could get back on track. And with the Rockies being the team that been his Achilles heel so far, and maybe a little bit of fatigue as well, I think Gore could turn things around, especially versus a Philly lineup that's feast or famine. If these guys, trying to swing for the fences only like they usually do and don't connect, he's going to get a lot of strikeouts and have a good outing. So right now, I will go out there and try to get Mackenzie Gore. He's too talented of a player, and he'll get back on track. And right now, while his value's down, you don't have to give up much to get him. The next guy, Frankie Montes of the Oakland Athletics. And Montes here on one of the worst teams in all of major leagues, but the rumors are heating up. Teams are going to need pitching. I know the trade deadline was still a month and a half away, is August 2nd now in the major leagues, but Montes is definitely the next Oakland A to go after they blew up the whole roster in the offseason. On the season here for Montes, 81 2/3, 3-7 record, 73 hits, 32 earned runs, 20 walks, 84 strikeouts, 8 quality starts, 3.53 ERA and a 1.14 whip. But the last 2 weeks here, the number is pretty bad, 6.55 ERA and a 2 whip. But Montes, he's a good starter. He goes deep into games, 6 or 7 innings you're going to get from him. And obviously, with this Oakland Athletic team, he's not going to get much run support. He's not going to get many wins. And I'm just waiting for him to get traded within the next few weeks, or like I mentioned, a month and a half on the day of the Major League trade deadline. So the last few outings here for Montez: June 5th versus Boston, 6 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, a run, a walk, 7 Ks, a quality start. June 11th at the Guardians, 6 innings, got the win, 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 2 Ks in that one. And June 17th versus the Royals, just a bad outing, 5 innings, got the loss, 10 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks in that one. So Montez, he's a solid starter. He's got a good matchup versus Seattle today where I think he could turn things around a little. But I'm looking at the overall pitch. If this guy gets traded to a contender that needs starting pitching, like maybe a Philly, Atlanta Braves, and the Mets, one of those teams I think in the East have a great shot of landing Montez here near the trade deadline. This guy's value will boost right up. And he'll be a top 10, top 20 starter probably in fantasy baseball if he goes to a contender, and especially going to the National League as well. So right now, while he's been down over the last few games here as Montez, this is a perfect time to get him because he could still obviously pitch good with this Oakland team. But if he gets traded, his value will go way up. The next guy, Kevin Gausman of the Toronto Blue Jays. So Gausman, it's been a pretty solid first season for him here in Toronto. But the last couple weeks here, he's been hit hard on the season here, though, for Gausman. 79 innings, 5-6 record, 88 hits, 28 earned runs, 13 walks, 87 strikeouts, 8 quality starts, a 3.19 ERA, and a 1.28 whip. I know he's in a very tough division in the AL East with the Yankees, Red Sox, and Tampa Bay that can hit the baseball. But hey, he's going out there, and he's pitching good. But the last couple weeks here, a 5.02 ERA and a 1.81 whip. So right now, those numbers aren't all that great. And the funny thing is, he didn't go out there and verse crazy teams in the last few outings where he struggled. But he struggled as Gausman. But right now, I think he hasn't been a fluke over the last few seasons. I thought last season he was definitely fluky. But this season, in a tougher division, he's gone out there and pitched great baseball. And he's got great run support, too, from Toronto. One of the best hitting teams in the league. June 11th at Detroit for Gausman. 6 innings, got the loss. 6 hits, a run, 3 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. June 16th versus Baltimore, 2 2/3, got the loss in that one. 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. And then June 21st at the White Sox, 6 innings, no decision. 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. So right here, he's gone out there. He's still going deep into games besides that June 16th outing here for Gausman. And he's going to turn things around, I think. Just a hiccup over the last couple outings. But he's still putting up numbers, and he's still a guy going to want on my roster. So right now, while he struggled over the last couple weeks, it's a perfect time to go out there and get him on a little bit of a discount. And the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy and trade for this week here is Adam Wainwright of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Wainwright, he still has it, man, in his last season in the major leagues, when I thought he was finished a few seasons ago, but he's reinvented himself a little bit. And he's been a good pitcher for this Cardinal team. On the season, 84 innings, 5-5 record, 81 hits, 31 runs, 25 walks, 67 strikeouts, 8 quality starts, a 3.32 ERA, 1.26 whip. But the last few weeks here, his ERA's ballooned up to a 5.5 with a 1.39 whip. So right here, obviously not great numbers. But this Cardinal team, when it's all said and done, I think they're going to squeak it out over there in the NL Central. The 2 top competitors in that division is obviously the Brewers and the Cardinals, but I think the Cardinals have just enough hitting and just enough pitching to get over, even though I know Woodruff is banged up. But I know they got Corbin Burns as well, the Cy Young winner is this Brewer team. But anyway, the last few outings here for Wainwright, June 11th for Cincinnati, 7 innings, no decision, 8 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 7 Ks, a quality start. June 17th at Boston, 6 1/3, got the loss, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 5 Ks. And June 22nd at the Brewers that I mentioned, 4 2/3, no decision, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. So right here, Wainwright, his strikeouts have been pretty good in this slump recently. And I just think he's going to turn things around. He's going to get good run support from this St. Louis Cardinal team. He still knows how to pitch at the old age of 39 here and being in the league 15-plus seasons. And like I mentioned, Wainwright, he'll have a couple games where he's down, and then he'll bring it back and pitch well. So right now, I definitely would go out there and make a deal for Wainwright. And I don't even think the Wainwright owners even before this little slump here would expect much in a deal for him. So now go big get him while his value's down there a little bit, and while he's on a first-place team in the St. Louis Cardinals. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for Week 11 of the fantasy baseball season.